This is one of those courtroom moments where patience, property rights, and personal responsibility collide in a way you rarely see. At the center of this case is a defendant who has been under scrutiny for years, literally decades, for failing to clean up a property that officials say has turned into a full-blown public nuisance. We're talking about alleged violations dating all the way back to 2005. That's not a typo. 20 years of warnings, citations, and chances to fix the issue. Now fast forward to today. The court has already given a clear deadline, August 31st, to bring the property into compliance. But here's where things take a dramatic turn. The prosecution says the progress is minimal at best. The defense argues there are legitimate challenges, including the defendant being a disabled veteran relying on family members to do the work. And the defendant himself? He insists the property is being cleaned and that the situation is being exaggerated. So here's the big question for you. How much time is too much time? At what point does patience run out and enforcement take over? Because as you're about to see, the judge is not just frustrated. He's on the verge of making a decision that could send someone to jail over what many might assume is just a messy yard. Stay locked in, because this case quickly escalates. From a compliance issue into a heated confrontation about responsibility, credibility, and the limits of leniency.
What the issue they're saying and not making any progress.
Listen, I told you on July 30 to have this done by August 31.
And we did with due diligence, tried to, sir.
You didn't do anything by August 31. You wanted to get smart with me and tell me that I came out to your property and started photographing, and I don't know what in the devil you're talking about. And you acted like one of these sovereign citizen know-it-alls on the video. Listen to me. And now you don't have the property cleaned up. Nobody wants to live next to that junk pile.
Sir, I have had no complaints from any neighbor.
I don't care.
What are the issues with, you say there's been no progress. There's been great.
She said very little progress. That's how it looked from the photos this morning. Looks to me like there's been no
Right here is where the case starts tightening. The prosecution brings in photographic evidence, and that's critical. In property violation cases, visuals often carry more weight than verbal claims. You can say progress has been made, but if the photos don't reflect that, the court is going to lean heavily on what it can actually see. Notice also how the defense immediately pivots to context, highlighting the defendant's status as a disabled veteran and emphasizing reliance on family members. That's a strategic move. It's not denying the condition of the property outright. Instead, it's asking the court for empathy and more time. But here's the problem. Courts balance sympathy with compliance. And when deadlines are missed, especially after explicit warnings, that sympathy starts to wear thin. So let me ask you, should personal hardship excuse non-compliance with court orders? Or does the responsibility still ultimately fall on the property owner, no matter what?
Were these taken this morning?
Those were taken Tuesday. I have additional ones that I sent probation this morning, and they confirmed that there's been no progress since Tuesday for today. So those are.
So you sent them to probation this morning. John, call over there, tell them that to print them out, the ones from this morning, and that you're gonna come over and get them, will you?
Be able to print in color.
They what?
Be able to print that in color.
I'll be able to tell them.
Do you also have a list of violations that I can read off?
Go ahead.
So according to Rob Harris, the code enforcement officer, there was a fence that was put up without a permit. It remained.
Yeah, we covered that last time.
And it's still there, Your Honor. There's a large amount of brown storage that is present in the back and side yards, causing blatant rodent harborage that needs to be removed. Tarps are present to cover ground storage and causing rodent harborage. The dumpster cannot be stored on the property after it's no longer in use. I guess it does smell pretty bad right now. The garage door's been open for a couple of years. causing rodent
And here's where
harbor-
the judge's tone shifts dramatically. When you hear references to sovereign citizen behavior, that's a major red flag in courtrooms. Judges typically use that term when they believe someone is rejecting established, legal authority or trying to argue outside recognized law. Whether that label is fair or not, the impact is immediate. It signals frustration and a loss of patience from the bench. The judge isn't just evaluating whether the property is clean, he's assessing credibility and attitude. Statements like, "Nobody wants to live next to that junk pile," show this is no longer just procedural, it's personal and community-based. The court is now looking at the broader impact on neighbors and public standards. At this point, the case pivots from, "Can this be fixed?" to, "Why hasn't this been fixed yet?" That's a dangerous shift for any defendant. So what do you think? Is the judge being too harsh here? Or is this exactly what happens when deadlines and warnings are repeatedly ignored?
Greatly clean, sir.
And then
I know what standards this yard Nazi subscribes to. I
Yard
do not belong to an HOA. I do not subscribe to it. But he wants to violate my constitutional and civil rights.
Oh, don't give me this nonsense.
Yeah, okay, well, there'll be another thing.
Don't give me this nonsense. Who's the yard Nazi that wants to violate your constitutional rights?
Who's the complaining party, sir? Neither of my neighbors.
Don't get wise with me, Mr. Farrell.
They're both properties.
Do not get wise with me. There is nobody that could look at this and say this is cleaned up. Nobody. I couldn't find a single person in the country that would look me in the eye in a courtroom. Maybe at a bar when they've had 14 drinks. There is nobody that would tell me this is cleaned up.
You would have to look at pictures prior to all of this.
No,
See
no,
all the progress.
because you made it a junkyard.
I worked as a mechanic, and there were new motors and transmissions. Was not junk.
This moment right here is arguably the most damaging detail in the entire case. The timeline. When the court hears that violations may date back to 2005, everything changes. Suddenly, this isn't about a missed deadline or a temporary setback. It's about a long-term pattern. Legally speaking, repeated violations over years or decades can justify much harsher enforcement. It shows the court that prior warnings, citations, and even dismissed cases haven't led to lasting compliance. That's why you hear the judge referencing jail time, not because this is the first offense, but because it appears to be the latest in a long line of unresolved issues. And look at how the defendant responds, pushing back, minimizing, and even challenging the judge's interpretation of what clean means. That's risky. In court, perception matters. If the judge believes you're not taking the situation seriously, it can escalate consequences quickly. Let me ask you this. If someone had 20 years to fix a problem, is any additional time really justified, or is enforcement long overdue?
Set of eyes. If you're telling me those pictures are inaccurate, that the prosecutor take a look. If you're telling me those pictures are not as it exists today, my court officer and I will drive right over there right now.
Not all of this here. No, we got.
What's all of this here? I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what there's 4 photos. I can't see which one you're pointing at. I'm not Superman. I don't have X-ray vision. Turn the picture toward me.
Okay, here,
Okay, what's not there?
a lot of this is already gone. We have not got everything up yet. The dumpster's there to throw stuff in, but we were gonna get on the garage next and try to clear all that out and throw it out too.
You guys have had,
Collecting this over there.
I don't care. You guys have had since July 30. And the prosecutor tells me that you guys were notified of these issues in 05. That's 20 years.
This case is a powerful example of how prolonged noncompliance can escalate into serious legal consequences. What started as a property maintenance issue evolved into a courtroom showdown centered on responsibility, credibility, and enforcement. The judge made it clear. Deadlines matter, and repeated failures to comply, especially over years, can lead to penalties far beyond fines, including the real possibility of jail time. At the same time, the court did show a measure of flexibility by granting additional time, acknowledging that some progress had been made. But make no mistake, the clock is ticking, and the next hearing could determine whether this situation ends in compliance or incarceration. The key takeaway here? Courts may offer chances, but they don't offer unlimited patience. When orders are ignored or delayed too long, consequences become inevitable. Now we want to hear from you. Was the judge fair, or should more time have been given? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.